Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Any Percent, the only podcast about Greek mythology. My name is Evan Sampson, and I am joined by my lovely co-hosts, Casper Karen.
How's it going?
What up? Cody Mosley. Almost forgot Cody's last name.
Hey guys. How's it going?
And we have a wonderful guest this episode, Aiden, who lacks a last name.
No last name.
He was born without one. It's like
name.
Cher. It's a
They
mononym.
didn't give me one.
Yeah, it's all it says on his birth certificate.
It's like McLovin.
Sweet. Mm-hmm. This is the eighth episode of
Ninth.
Our show.
Wow.
Ninth episode of our show. Thanks for
is it
correcting.
nine?
Over here.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
No, it's 8th, isn't it?
I thought it was 8, but it could be 9. I don't know.
it's 8th or 9th. We'll correct it in post. Like we'll just like come in like
9.
yeah. So yeah, fellas, Casper, what you been up to for video game stuff?
I've been doing my second run of Nier Automata, which I just finished, which I told you guys about earlier in this week, but it's a pretty cool game. Really weird. Really weird.
What do you think? Like, are you excited to start the third one, or are you gonna like take a break?
Yeah, no, I'm probably tomorrow I'm gonna start it. I really want to just like figure out what's happening, you know? There's just so many questions that I have for it.
Yeah, did you see that somebody found a cheat code that takes you from the beginning of the game to the end of the game?
It was like hidden. They
Yeah,
just
I saw
found
that.
it.
Lance McDonald.
Yeah.
That dude's pretty nice. I DM'd him on Twitter when he broke the PT demo and just asked him some questions about it, and he was really nice, and he replied to my DM and told me all about how he like got a decompiler for the PS4 and stuff. And
Oh.
he's a good dude. He's
That's
a cool
really nice.
dude.
Yeah.
That's nice though. Anything else?
No, not too much, you know. Been playing Hades, but
Yeah. We're
Save
going to
that for
get to
later.
it. God, we're going to get to it. Stop. Yo, Cody, what's up?
Hey guys. You want to know what I've been playing?
No, actually, I don't.
That's all right.
Like, I don't care, dude.
So like besides like my main state of games I'm always playing, like I'm always playing Valorant, I just got back into Overwatch after a really long break. We don't have to go into any of that. You guys know about that.
Do they? Do our listeners know? Cody was on the Overwatch team in college.
Yeah, I was. So was someone else on the podcast.
Yeah, the one who's making puke faces at the mention of Overwatch right now.
Yeah.
Team captain over here.
It's just like a warm and cozy game that I get really mad at. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like an abusive spouse. You just keep
What
going.
did you guys-
Jesus Christ.
what did you guys call yourself? Collegiate professionals or something
Yeah,
like
every
that?
time you get in a game, you gotta tell them, "Don't worry if you lose, guys. You're going up against some collegiate professionals. No worries. Don't take it too hard."
I remember I watched you guys stream a game once, and you guys were like flaming pretty hard. And I was like, guys, it's just a game.
I think
like,
so.
it's going to be okay.
Our first year we did like super well because the meta just fit us, right? And then
Yeah, we smoked everybody
dude,
for
we were like
weeks.
top 8 or whatever. But then you just get destroyed year 2, you know. You become old and washed up and you have to retire.
When you go from being 20 to 21, it really takes a toll on your
Yep.
body.
That's true.
And people never showed up to our games. We always just won by default
That's
or got
true.
destroyed.
Yeah. It was not very organized.
Oh yeah, I watched a stream once where you guys got one by default. It was just like Aiden being like, they said that he needs 5 more minutes, but the rules say like if he doesn't show up, I don't know.
We were sticklers for the rules, but hey, you know, you're trying to win and that's how you gotta be. So besides like my games I'm always coming back to, I've been playing actually Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I keep on wanting to say Ragnarok, but that's not it.
Yeah.
I'm actually playing that on PS5 and it's scratching an itch that I didn't know I needed scratched. If that
Yeah.
just like
that game is like daunting to me. Like I want to play it, but I can't right now. Like it's just too much.
I definitely see where you're coming from with that. It's like I'm just doing like a mission every day or so. Every time I get a chance. Dude, the combat in that game is better than Assassin's Creeds have been in a really long time. just because you're a Viking, so it's like super brutal. There's different like combos that you can do.
How much is it like? What I played of it, I didn't really feel like an assassin.
Oh, dude,
like it didn't
you
feel.
would forget. It's
Like,
an
do you get to the
Assassin's
point where
Creed
you
game.
start assassinating people?
Like there is, and there's like this like it's like not even like a main part of it though, which is really weird. They should just stop calling it Assassin's Creed.
They should stop calling them that.
the
Yeah.
story reason for that? I played Origins and Odyssey.
Yeah,
So I don't know about Valhalla, but
there
the
is like
story
a
reason for that is they're like starting the Assassin's Order. Like in Origins, you were the guy who started it.
yeah.
So they hadn't really established the whole like we fight in the dark for the light
Yeah,
sort of thing yet.
that's
Put that on the box. We
But,
fight in the
like,
dark for the light.
that kind of story stuff. That's never why I've played Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? Like that stuff, I couldn't care.
You don't care about
less.
Desmond?
Dude,
Yeah,
oh,
we
dude,
play it for
and,
the modern day
fuck
story,
Desmond.
not that old
Yeah,
boring
exactly.
I'm gonna
assassin
beat
Yeah,
stuff.
we're all about Desmond, and there's a new one, right? A new modern day protagonist.
Yeah, it's a girl in this
In the
one.
new ones?
I don't know her
Yeah, it's
fucking
like an
name.
archaeologist.
But like, dude, stop with the modern shit. Does anyone give a shit? Does anyone care?
Okay, it was pretty cool in like I think it was 2 because I only played 1, 2, and some of 3.
Yeah.
In 2, when you get to like do parkour as Desmond,
Yeah. I see. Yeah.
like that was pretty
but
cool. I was pretty
dude,
into that.
I don't really like. Oh, it's my ancestor from back in the day. Like I couldn't care less. Let me just chase someone down, burn some villages, like cut someone's head off. That's what I'm about. You know what I mean?
Well, didn't they like stop for a while, right? Like Syndicate and Unity didn't have a modern
Yeah,
day,
they've
like part. I don't
right.
think.
They've the whole series have been like I didn't play Unity or Syndicate. Last one I played was Black Flag. Was like the one I've been. I was serious.
I like that one. That's the only one I played.
Yeah, and this game has boats too, but it's not like boat combat. It's just like little river boats going from place to place. But I'm liking it so far. It's just getting slightly better gear and clearing out like a section of the map and that sort of thing.
It
But
seems like a very like calculated like reward loop for
Yeah.
like making your adrenal glands
Yeah,
fire off
exactly.
or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like it just makes you feel the happy chemicals.
yeah, like you walk into a new area, you got to climb that tower, discover the area. It's a classic, and then
Take out the bandit
Ubisoft game.
camp.
yeah, it's that stuff, and that's what I needed. But on the PS5, dude, it's running super well. It looks super good, and
Yeah.
the combat is, the combat loop is just really great. So, been really enjoying it.
I think you're only saying this because you're having Stockholm syndrome about your PS5
I need to play it. I need to
purchase,
play
and it's
something.
one of the only things you can play. So you're like, I love it. It's so good. I'm so glad I spent $500 on a console with no games.
Hey, when we get to our later topic, there might be some other reasons to play my PS5 in the near future.
Wow, that's ominous.
Little hint for the future there. But yeah, that's me. So
All right, your time's
up.
I'm cutting you off. The music has started. The hook is coming out of the
Pulling
side
me
of the
off
stage.
stage.
It's pulling you off. Yeah. Now it's time for Aiden, the guest. Ugh.
The
We have to
guest.
have guests now.
Yeah. So I've been playing
Aiden,
a
what's
lot
up?
of Gunfire Reborn recently.
The hell
That's
is
the
that?
indie game. It's a roguelike, so
So it's very at home on
it's
this
very,
show.
yeah, it's very Borderlandsy. It does a lot of like you use the green elemental stuff to shoot the yellow health bar and the blue to shoot the shield, and the fire hits the red. But it's got some
Very
fun
systems heavy or like, yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
I'm
so
watching a
it's
trailer really quick. I dig the low poly art style.
Yeah, there are stuff.
was it called?
Gunfire
Gunfire
Reborn.
Reborn. Do you play as a furry though?
Yeah, pretty much.
Furry guy?
So you start out as a cat, you unlock a dog, and then you unlock a bird. But that's kind of everything. Like every enemy is after the beginning. The beginning starts out and it's like reincarnated statues or revived statues, sort of things that you fight.
Huh.
But then it moves on to like lizard stuff and some other animals.
Nice.
And
Furry
also
games. I'm all about it.
furry games, if they got good shooting, if they got the good FPS mechanics. Then Red Dead Redemption
else?
2.
Nice. Are you playing it for the first time right now, or are you
Yes.
replaying it?
No, this is the first time.
Yeah. I haven't played it yet either. Well, I not either, but I haven't played it yet. So don't spoil it.
Yeah, I won't
Is it on PC now?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's out on PC.
Yep, it does this
Okay.
really fun thing where it sets the volume in the Windows mixer down to 7%, specifically 7%, every time I launch the game. So you get it started, you tab out, you go into your Windows sound mixer, you drag it back up, and then you can hear the game.
So weird.
That is
It
weird.
is weird. So are you enjoying it? Like, how far are you into it?
I don't really know. I think my progression is something like 15%.
Okay.
So that's what, 150 hours?
No, it's only been like 5 or 6.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
that game
It
seems
does a
cool.
good job of being an open world where there's not a lot of fast travel. Fast travel's there, but it's got a good amount of stuff that you kind of just run into naturally.
Yeah.
So if you're, running on your horse just kind of in a straight line for 10 minutes, it doesn't feel like you're wasting your time.
Yeah, you might come across like enemies or like an event, right?
Yeah,
Something.
like there was somebody whose horse died and fell onto them. So I ran past him. It's like, oh, can you get this horse off of me? And then they needed a ride home. So I, give them a
You're
ride
like, sorry,
home.
sir, I don't have a horse defibrillator, so I can't bring your horse back.
No, it's funny because there's an item in the game called the Horse Reviver,
Oh yeah.
which is like whiskey that they drink and then they're alive again.
For the audio listeners, I'm making like a big O face, like :O. That's shocking and awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
My horse died though. I don't know how my horse died. I think it got too cold. So I'm stuck in a mountain and my horse is just a corpse now.
Did his balls shrink when he got cold?
Dude, that's the classic with
I don't know. You can look because they
ball
modeled
physics.
that on all the
Yeah.
horses.
I'm gonna replay that on PS5 at some point because I think that was like something that I didn't like about the PS4 version was just like it still looked really good, but I mean it made your PS4 really loud. So I couldn't even hear the damn game.
Yeah.
And then also like the load times were pretty rough on the PS4 version. So I wonder if they'll have a PS5 update at some point too.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of like. At this point, it's a game I want to play, but I would rather just wait. Either get it on my PC, which if I saw it really cheap, I would, or wait for the PS5 version that will inevitably be
Yeah, I mean, if
released.
GTA 5 is getting a PS5 version, then
Yeah. I think just to your point really quick about the
The
Like-
horse balls.
not feeling like you're no, not the horse balls. Yeah, the horse balls. Were they tasty? Were they yummy horse balls? The sorry, I'm like so stumbling over my words, but the feeling that like you're not wasting time when you choose not to fast travel, I think is like a hallmark of like a really good open world game. And like the other one that comes to mind when you said that was like Spider-Man on the PS4. Like it is so much fun to swing. Like why would you ever not swing from point A to point
Yeah.
B? And like B, there's all like tons of events and other stuff you can stumble upon. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like some well-regarded open world games that I've played, I just am addicted to using the fast travel. But Spider-Man was not like that. So I think it's a pretty good game. All right, Aiden, you got anything else?
Lego Batman 2, DC Superheroes.
It's a
That's
classic.
a bomb to drop on me right now. What are you? Are you being serious?
Oh yeah, I'm
That's
being
awesome.
dead serious. Yeah, I got 4
haven't played that one.
hours in it. It's all right.
Nice.
I mean, it's pretty much like Superman is in the level and you're literally invincible and you can shoot laser eyes and fly around the level.
That's
So sometimes it's a little bit ridiculous in that regard.
yeah. That's like the you give your
Isn't
little
that game
brother
from like
Superman.
2011?
Yeah,
It's old,
you
yeah.
also
Okay.
have like a Lego Gotham City that you can roam around in. It's not like
Oh, that's cool.
the OG Lego Star Wars where you're in the cantina and you go to level 1
Right.
and you go to level
Yeah.
2 and you go to level 3. There's an
got
actual
more of
like
an
huge
open
open world that you can
Yeah.
Superman fly over to your next mission.
Nice. I have like what is it? Lego. Where is it? Yeah, I have Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, and I haven't played it yet for my Switch. It's still in the shrink wrap, but got to play that at some point.
I think the Lego games are just very like cozy, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
yeah.
Who doesn't fucking like Legos? You know?
Yeah,
It's
dude.
just
Like,
it's nice.
what are your guys' like, I'm trying to think, like, Indiana Jones, Legos Indiana Jones is pretty good back in the day.
I never played that. I only played Lego Star Wars,
yeah.
for the games.
That was-
But
Yeah, that was the only one I played.
Yeah.
yeah, but I have I also have the Lego Harry Potter collection, which I have played a little bit of.
Oh, you know, I just remembered I had a Lego Island. I pushed that off my brain.
Well, if we're talking about like weird Lego stuff, I played this. I think it was called Lego Backlot, and it was like
You're a
3D,
film guy, right?
Like
On a film set?
yeah, and it was a browser
Yeah.
game where you would
Get
like
people
run
coffee,
around
I
a
think.
film studio
Yeah.
as a Lego guy, and you would just get coffee, and you would like do
Yeah.
like chores for like the Lego director. It was
That's our
That
next
sounds like
game,
a
by the way.
fever dream that
I know
Cody
it's
and
something
Evan
that I
have.
thought I made up.
I'm with you, Evan. I'm with you. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that game was awesome. If you are listening and you know that the actual name of that game or like a link to where I can still play it, please drop it in the comments. All right, what have I been playing? I've been playing Sea of Thieves
Ooh.
a little bit because a friend got it for me for Christmas. I think I brought that up 2 weeks ago though too. Maybe I didn't, but that game's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, when it came out, I heard it was bad.
it was.
But it was okay. But I think it's pretty fun now. But
It
the
is
weird
pretty
thing
cool.
is I haven't seen anybody. Like I have not
Yeah.
bumped into anybody while I'm playing. And supposedly people online are like, this game sucks because other people like destroy you.
That happened to me in
like,
Casper
you can
one
get
time.
raided.
Lately,
But I've never even crossed paths with another player
Hmm.
while I've been playing.
lately it's really rare because there's only like 10 people on a server at a time. Like they only let 10 people
So
on.
if you're spread
and the
out,
map is so
right.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. That makes more sense. I figured it was a much bigger, server size.
Yeah.
Yeah, just an
So
MMO.
yeah, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I thought it was more like an MMO.
I kind of wish it was because I actually like interacting with people. You know.
Yeah.
But oh well.
I also played some Good Job, which I don't know if you guys remember Nintendo shadow dropping that like a couple directs ago,
job?
and then
Good
everyone
job.
moving on with their lives and forgetting that it ever happened. But you play as like the dude from the bathroom sign, you know, like a little black stick figure
Oh,
guy.
I remember that now. There's
Oh,
another
yeah.
fever
Jumping from
dream
the
game
different
right there.
sides.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really cute. It's kind of like Overcooked or like one of those other wacky physics
On sale
party
for
games.
$13.99 during the Nintendo Switch New Year sale.
Ah.
Ooh, what a deal!
It
It's worth
reminds me
$13.
of those trailers for Portal.
That's what.
With the little
That's
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
gonna say.
yeah.
Yeah. That's the. Like the art looks.
So you just play as that guy and like you do like office tasks that are basically puzzles, and you just try to, with the wacky physics and stuff, you try not to break too much shit while you're like I think the first one is like plug in this projector, and you have to like go get the projector, drag it across the office and plug it in, and in that you have to be careful not to knock anything over. And so it's fun. It's one of those wacky physics games. Like it reminds me of like Octodad, if you guys have played that. But it's really fun. I enjoy it. I gotta finish it. And I guess that's really it. I haven't been playing a ton of video games. I just finished watching Alone on Netflix, which I don't know if you guys know about that, but it's like a survival game show where they send 10 people. They sent 10 people into the Arctic. Last person to give up wins $500,000.
Okay.
And the first it's like 10 episodes. The first like 6 episodes are like fine, and it's like fun. And then like episodes 7 through 10, dude, are like pulling teeth. Like these people are like literally dying and causing like extreme damage to their bodies,
Just
all
for-
for some dosh.
Yeah.
And they're like, I need this money so bad.
It's kind of
and
messed up.
it makes
though.
you so sad. Yeah,
it's
dude,
like,
it's
I
fucked
I
up.
twisted my ankle the other day, and now I'm in lifelong debt. So I need this TV show to.
Right. Or like, yeah.
No, literally
Yeah.
though, it's like everyone's like, this amount of money I've never seen in my life, and I will never see again unless I win this show, and my kids need to eat. So what's
Jesus
up
Christ.
is why I'm gonna survive.
No,
and like everybody's so heartbroken when they
So
lose.
it's not
and-
like survival people, like people who.
No, it's normal people.
It's just
yeah,
normal
who need the
everyday
money. They're like
people.
they have like some survival training or something,
yeah.
but I don't think they accept like professional survivalists.
So
But it was entertaining, and then it was really, really sad. And I was like, we live in a society.
are they spread
as
out?
I watched
Are they
it.
spread out, or are they in a camp like all?
Yeah, they're all
together?
spread out. No, they're all like on separate ends of like a lake
Okay.
in the Arctic, and they don't see each other.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And
Jesus
it's,
Christ.
I mean, it's interesting and it's entertaining, and then it's just kind of sad. But then at the point that it's sad, it's like a train wreck, and you just can't look away. Like, you need to know who's gonna win.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
But it made me so sad. And when it ended, I was so happy for the guy who won, but I felt so sad for the other, like, the people who have caused like permanent kidney damage from not eating and
Right,
like other stuff. Like, it just made me sad.
That's kind of like dangerous
Pretty
that
fucked up.
Netflix can have a show like they're profiting off of these people's like pain and struggles.
well,
and then,
it's the History Channel,
Okay.
not Netflix.
Yeah.
So
The
Netflix is
History
absolved of
Channel.
all sin.
Hold on.
that's just I don't.
They're because these guys, the people who were surviving, are now history. Like, Rick, rest in peace.
Oh,
The History Channel,
Oh,
baby.
man. It's kind of messed up.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to though. So I guess, and I'm gonna do it again. I didn't pull the description up, and I always wish I did that. Oh, here's one. All right, time to talk about the game. Let's talk about the goddamn game. This episode, I always want to say this week, but it takes us 2 weeks to play a game. This episode, we played Hades, which is, I mean, who doesn't know what Hades is right now? If you play video games, you probably heard of Hades, but Hades is the super hot roguelike game from Supergiant, the people that made Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre. It's their fourth game. You play as Zagreus, the son of Hades, in his quest to escape Hades to the surface. It's like how would you guys describe it? Just like like, what's the combat like? I guess it's
Like
a
a
beat 'em up
Beat 'em
roguelike.
up, yeah.
yeah.
Hack and
Yeah,
slash.
it's a beat 'em up
hack and
roguelike.
slash.
Yeah.
Hack and slash roguelike. So that's pretty much the thick and skinny. Before we start just talking about it, is there anything you guys want to add to the description?
I guess besides like what you said, and like besides talking about how it's like, you know, it's got the traditional roguelike elements, I guess it's kind of important to note that the you know, when you die in a roguelike, it's kind of just like, you know, whatever, and you just keep going again. It doesn't play a part in the story. But this game kind of winds together like you know, why you keep dying, and it also brings together with the story.
Yeah, the narrative works
Yeah.
with the roguelike,
Right.
which is always a good thing and isn't always the case. Like,
Yeah.
Enter the Gungeon, you just die and start
Right,
again.
like-
Binding of Isaac, you just die and start again.
Exactly, yeah. So this one is, you know, it places emphasis on, you know you're dying and you are getting better every time you die, and that plays a part in the story. So you're kind of uncovering more of this world and these characters as you.
Yeah.
So dying has like a purpose as opposed to like a punishment, I guess.
Well put. Anybody have anything else for descriptive stuff before we just start jumping into our thoughts on the game?
Did you say Greek? It's really Greek.
Oh,
Super
yeah,
Greek.
did I say that? I mean, I said Hades. It's Greek as hell, yeah. It's Greek as... Dude, it's like Spanakopita. Dude, it's Greek as hell.
Gotta read your Percy Jackson.
Did I say that right? I never know how to say
Oh yeah,
that.
I think you got it.
I used to read it as like Spankopita. It's like, didn't know how to say it. So yeah, I don't know. Let's jump in. I like this game. Do you guys like this game?
It's sick, dude.
Yeah.
If you listen
Yeah,
to the
this
last
game's
episode,
awesome.
you know that it is my game of the year for 2020. It's so sick. It's awesome.
It's so sick, dude. This game's like a can of Monster Energy doing a kickflip.
Yeah.
It's
Backwards
awesome.
Punching a wall.
I like this game a lot. I love Supergiant. I love all their games. I didn't think it was like game of the year worthy though. Like, it was a really polished game. It was really fun. I just didn't really get how hyped it was, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think it was a game of the year contender. Even though I did like the game, it was really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was my runner-up,
Yeah.
but it is. I think it's a good-ass game.
As long
Yeah.
as Last of Us 2 wasn't number one.
Not for us, but for the Game Awards.
It was, yeah.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's probably a good place to start. Is just you know, how does this game compare to other Supergiant games just in general? I don't know like what you guys have played. I think, we have a lot of Supergiant fans here on the cast. I know that for me, to start, I played Bastion like when it first, when it first came to.
So you were like 9, 10
Did I
years
play it
old?
on? I think I played it on Vita. I think that sounds right.
Wow.
So,
I played it on an iPad.
Okay, yeah.
I played it on the Xbox 360 arcade.
I think so. Maybe
Yeah.
that's my fever dream game
So
for today.
I don't really remember much from it, but Transistor I do remember playing. I really like Transistor. I don't think I ever beat Transistor, which is a little unfortunate. And then I didn't play Pyre because it didn't really speak to me.
Pyre is not as good as the other ones. That's my hot take. Like
Yeah.
Pyre, they definitely try to do something new and something different, and I can like appreciate the attempt. But like NBA Jam Combat Frisbee or whatever that game is like it's different, but it's not like super. I don't know. It didn't do it for me. I didn't finish it. You have to like beat the fucking game. It's like Nier Automata. You have to like beat it like 11 bajillion times to actually beat it.
Right.
And I beat it like twice, and then I lost on the third one, and I was like, are you telling me that that's one additional time I still have to beat this whole game
That's
again?
crazy.
Because I lost on one of my like runs?
Well,
like,
no, 'cause
fuck that, dude.
There's more to it
Yeah.
if you keep going.
Is
Yeah.
Pyre isometric?
Yeah, all their games are isometric. That's
Okay,
like,
yeah. I was gonna say they're
think-
really good at isometric games, just like making
Yeah.
them look good.
yeah, I think I wonder why that is like always a thing they do. I mean, I think part of it is that the artist Gen Z is just really good at doing isometric stuff. I would think
Yeah.
that's part of why they always go with that design. She can probably crank out a lot of isometric assets pretty quickly.
How big is Supergiant? Do you guys know?
It's like
Less than
it's
20.
like 15 people.
Yeah, it's less than 20
Oh,
people. I
Yeah,
think.
15 or 20 or something or less. Like it's like if I remember, I've watched some of the no clip stuff about them from when Hades was coming out, and it's a really small studio. It's probably like 6 or 7 like core people, and then some like additional people they've tacked on during like the last couple years.
Yeah, and I'm sure they have. I'm sure they contract some work out if they need to. But yeah,
it's a small team.
team.
Basically, the thesis is it's small. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of the combat? Let's talk about that first for gameplay stuff. Or we were supposed to talk about. Well, I guess we kind of already did what we thought of it compared to the other games.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's better.
I think this is their best game. That's
Yeah.
that's just my opinion. What do you think, Casper?
I don't know. I really liked Bastion.
yeah,
But I like this game
I think
too.
Bastion. Yeah, I was gonna say I think Bastion tells like a more heartfelt story than this game, but
That might be why I like it more. You
Yeah.
know, I also like the narrator. You know?
yeah,
I mean, they do have a narrator for this one too. I guess.
and
every
it's the
time
same
you-
guy,
Yeah, it's the same guy. So,
but I don't like him.
the combat of this game does remind me a lot of Bastion. You know.
Yeah.
It's like a more polished Bastion,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is nice.
Bastion and Transistor and this all have like very similar combat, and I think that this is like the most polished, the most synthesized. Like
Yeah.
they took all the funnest parts of both those two games and turned it into this.
I feel like it's also less repetitive than Bastion. Because Bastion, I remember when it had like a few different characters, but each zone in
Well-
this one has different.
Did
Right.
Bastion have multiple characters? I thought it just the one and the different weapons.
No, he means
the
like
enemies?
zones where
The-
you
the-
fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Different
sorry.
stuff.
yeah,
sorry.
the enemies.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
What do you guys think? Aiden, what do you think? Is this better or worse?
Yeah, I mean, so I basically don't remember playing Bastion at all. I probably played it on, I don't know about next to the Vita, but probably the worst place to go play it. So I definitely think that Hades takes the cake. Yeah, actually, I
Yeah.
did play Pyre too. And I played enough Pyre to actually finish it.
Wow.
And get to
The man is
the
bold.
very end. Because so basically, the story turns into like the celestial beings make it so that you can't keep finishing the game. Like, you keep finishing the game, and it's like, well, shit, the stars are like going out.
Yeah.
So everyone's kind of
Oh,
like,
that's
well,
cool.
shit, we're gonna get stuck here forever. Everyone's all like Mongo depressed. So kind of within your team, you have to decide who gets to stay in like the desert wasteland with everyone else who's stuck there,
Jesus.
and
Wow.
who gets to keep going up. So I thought it was
Sounds
alright.
depressing in the
Yeah.
end. Sounds like it starts to get to a depressing place.
A little bit. I thought the combat was kind of either really easy or you got,
bullshit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
hit
that-
with
I
some
felt the same
BS
thing.
that there was nothing you could do.
Yeah. It was also a lot to like decode on the screen, like because in this NBA Jam ass, frisbee ass, suicide bomber like game, like the players have like basically like spheres of influence, and they all have unique shapes and sizes, and you have to not only pay attention to the positioning of the player, but also like keep an eye on their sphere, and like some people can like shoot their spheres like out and shit, and it's like I think or something
Sounds
like or when you use a
complicated,
move
yeah.
your sphere like goes away because you just used an attack move, and I don't know, it's weird. The game's really strange. It is fun, and I had fun while I was playing it, but it didn't. The request that Supergiant made of me to do it like
Yeah.
a bajillion times,
Yeah.
just I couldn't keep going.
Yeah. That's a pretty good segue, I think, into Hades, right? Where it's like where you asked about the combat, Evan, and I think
Yeah.
the combat rewards you, the more you do it, because even if you die, you know that you're progressing in something. In Hades, you're either, you're always upgrading a boon, or you're getting more. What's that purple stuff called? Like the crystals.
Darkness.
More
Yeah, I think
darkness.
that's what they call it.
Yeah, and everything has permanent bonuses, and you can
Right.
feel yourself getting better and better over time. So it kind of incentivizes you to play it, over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's very the loop I think is like super addictive, and the fact that it does improve your avatar strength pretty much every time you lose, like
Yeah.
makes you want to go back and see how tougher. Makes you always feel like you're getting a new edge on the world,
Yeah.
and you have a better chance.
Especially now
What's-
because with the darkness, when they went into 1.0, they added like the flip side of the mirror where you can
Yeah.
flip it and it's a different perk.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I didn't even know
was
about
awesome.
that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's something, Casper, where it's like, like if you just start playing, it's the game, when you just start playing versus like, oh, I'm 10 hours in, it's like almost completely different, because as you're going, you're uncovering like more things to
Right.
unlock, or more a
Right.
good example is if you should always give a god the honey stuff. We talked about this before. I forgot what it's called.
If you give a pig a pancake, if you give a mouse a cookie, give a god a honey.
Yeah, you give a god a honey, and he gives you they give you their boon, and each boon
Right.
has a different
the keepsakes. That's what you mean,
keepsakes.
right?
Yeah, are they called
Yeah, the
boons?
boons are
different.
the boons are the upgrades you get on the run
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
from the gods. Yeah.
So you're upgrading
not to
your,
be a stickler on terminology.
Yeah.
so like different keepsakes that you didn't have obviously when you first start playing. You kind of have your go-to keepsake, or you're leveling up your other keepsakes. So it's kind of
Right.
as you keep playing, you're just the game starts revealing itself and giving
Yeah.
you more options and more stuff to play around with. So
Yeah. It's a good game. It's a good game. It's a good roguelike. I think it paces that expansion of like talent trees and whatever like really well.
yeah,
Right.
I had this opinion a while ago that I thought I liked it better than Rogue Legacy. So have you guys played Rogue Legacy?
I played that on the Vita as well.
So I thought I liked the progression system more than Rogue Legacy, but I've since flipped on that, and I think I like the Rogue Legacy progression system more.
Okay.
And here's why. I think the most ideal situation is where the avatar strength grows with the player strength. Like your character gets stronger at the same pace that you are actually getting better at the game, so that it's like a twofold growth, right? I think that that's the optimal way to do it. And for the most part, Hades hits that well, like those notes, but there's like some upgrades that are like such major game changers. And Rogue Legacy is also very similar in that it's all these really incremental changes, but that one has like no big game changers in the same way that Hades does. Because when you unlock Death Defiance, dude, the game goes down in a difficulty level by a bajillion %. Like, the game gets so much easier if you can survive death.
And then you get a second one and a third one.
And then you get a third one.
And then you get a keepsake that gives you a fourth one.
But I will say to that point, Evan, that it does... So when I was playing Hades, like as soon as I was able to get Death Defiance, that's what I like went for. So I've always had it, even as I was getting better at the game. To your point, so I do see what you mean. It totally changes the game. But I think once you get to, because you can't regenerate your Death Defiances except for if you meet the dude.
You can
on
buy a consumable that does it.
The consumable, it's like the consumable's like super expensive, right? Or
it's like 200 gold or something like that.
Or you can talk to the guy on the 3rd level, and he'll replenish all your Death Defiances. But I think even then, you still have to go through the 3rd world boss, and then you have to go through like everything on the 4th floor, and then you have to beat Hades. So it's like, even though there is Death Defiances, and you kind of like, oh, my run's not over yet, it's still like, okay, you're not, you know what I mean? It's not like a get out of free.
It's not a gold. Yeah, it's not a silver bullet.
Right,
yeah, but I do think it does change
for sure.
Like I didn't even come close to Hades before I got Death Defiance, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I would like to see like the speed run of this game and see someone do it with like nothing, like no upgrades.
Right.
Because that sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't get the
They
speed
did it at
running.
AGDQ, but it was a full save file, fully upgraded, full
I
everything.
don't get
okay.
the speed
Yeah,
running
that's
for
some
this
bullshit.
game because it's like, like we're talking about, like, oh, if I put 1,000 hours into the game, like, of course I'm gonna beat the game really fast because I've maxed it out. And we can get into it later, but there's a weapon aspect where if you hit yourself with the grenade splash damage, it like gives you plus 5% damage. So that's kind of the idea behind those speed runs is you stack that up. So now I'm doing like 1,000% damage or whatever.
Huh.
Okay.
That's
And also
interesting.
then it's random too, right? It's because you don't know which boons you're going to get on that run. So I don't get the speed running for this game. I still think it's impressive. I could never dedicate that much time to it, but I just think it's different than other games where it's like, oh, I have to hit this jump at like the right way or whatever.
to do the speed
Yeah.
run. Yeah. All right, while we're on boons, who's the best god for boons in your opinion?
So that
Isn't
I would
the-
like to hear everyone else's opinion, but I think it kind of depends on like which weapon you're using, right? Like I kind of
I guess that's very true.
I have, like,
well, okay, well, like how about this? One weapon, one god that you think like go well together that you have decided is good together.
yeah, I think some boons are just like some gods have just like really insane stuff like no matter what. Like I'm thinking like Zeus, all his stuff, anything that just does more damage, I tend to
It's good
gravitate
for
towards.
everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So Zeus is really good if you have like, like your long. He has this one thing like every time you do like anything, it shoots out lightning, and then you can just like level that
Scratch
up.
your ass, lightning.
Yeah, so it's just like everything you do, you're just doing like a ton of damage. And then I like Ares stuff a lot with like the fists, because
yeah.
Ares has this thing where you can it's like a spinny red like death wheel.
Yeah,
Doom.
yeah. I'm trying to remember what
They
it's
call it. They call it Doom.
No, Doom's where you deal damage and then like a few seconds later it causes damage.
there's a
You're
different
talking
thing.
about
It's
he's talking about the
okay, I
spinny
know what you mean,
blades,
where
which
you
I can't think of
cast
what they're
you
called.
just-
and it
Yeah,
does
yeah.
So there was one run, and that's another thing about Hades that I really like is like there's these runs that just stick out in my mind. It's like, man, I'll never.
Yeah,
get...
you've got your own like
Yeah.
Hall of Fame history
Yeah.
of like your best runs.
Yeah, there was one where I was playing with the fist and I had those spinny blade things and it lasted for like 15 seconds and they were like the entire map of this, like the entire stage. It was
So
like
what,
that.
you were procking those every time you punched or something? Like
So it was just like I would use my call and then like they would just stick around forever, and then I would just
I
like
see.
beat up Hades, and then I just won, and I'm like, wow. I think that was like my second time completing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any favorites, but I know ones that I don't really like.
Oh yeah.
What's
Oh,
the
that's a
guy with alcohol? What's his name?
Dionysus.
Dionysus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care for his power ups. Like they're not bad, but I don't know. I'd rather not
Yeah.
have them.
Yeah.
And what's her name? The love
Aphrodite. Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. The only reason I don't like her is because I got the furthest I ever got. I had to choose between two, and I didn't pick
Yeah.
her, so she killed me.
Oh, it was like a challenge room.
So
Fuck
yeah,
you,
it's
Aphrodite.
Well, if
Yeah.
you would have beaten that, you could get hers as well, Casper. I don't know if you've run into that yet. So you can
no,
get both if you just survive. But
Oh, okay. I almost survived. I killed everything in the room, and then she killed me right as I did that.
because she has
So-
she's shooting her powers. Too,
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think, Aiden?
What about you, Aiden?
Yeah.
I mean, it does depend. I think Poseidon's really good because you can do a lot of, like, when you dash, it does damage in an AoE.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that really adds up over time, especially if you're, like dashing, all around, like
Yeah.
one big
Which
enemy.
I do, dude. I like
Dude,
punch, then dash, then punch, then dash. I'm always dashing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the natural play style I have. So when you
Yeah.
can buff stuff like that. Demeter's fun as well.
She
was
does the
new.
chill damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She slows everything down. She was not in the beta, the
Okay.
early access. I don't think Hermes was either. Thought I
Oh,
saw
I don't
something
know.
about
By the
that.
time
Hermes
I picked
is
it up,
weird.
Hermes was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they in 1.0? Did they like severely decrease Hermes's
I think they
boon
did.
rate? Because his boons are pretty solid for any build, and like I used to get them all the time, and now so for this show, this is the first time I've played it in 1.0. I have played the game like in early access, but yeah, I think they just nerfed the shit out of it because it is too good for everything. Like base attacks, I have yet to see the boon for just attack speed increase, which I used to see, and
Which
that's
is
just fucking
obviously
dope.
like there's no reason to not pick that because
Yeah,
it's just
so
bananas.
good.
It's absurd.
Or like a bonus dash, like all that.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, dude, it's got to be Artemis with
Artemis
the
is
fists or
good,
anything that goes fast, and then you can proc the crits on the like that. Just that I love that combo.
Yeah.
I think my play style is like I go for like a glass cannon build, like just do as much goddamn damage as I possibly can, and just try not to get hit more so than like be a tank. Although the first time I beat the game, I actually beat it with the shield, so I guess I can tank if I have to. But
I got Artemis with the bow once.
Yeah.
Like I just got a
Yeah.
bunch of Artemis stuff, and I was just like volleying
Yeah.
and shooting super
Yeah.
fast. It was
Yeah.
really good.
Oh yeah, I love it when you get like every time you punch or like hit, like it procs an arrow out, and then there's just arrows flying all over
Yeah.
the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game's awesome. I love this game. Not just so you guys know, I really like this game.
What were your favorite weapons?
Yeah, that's I think.
Because there's so many to choose from.
Yeah. So
fist
Casper,
is
have
mine
you unlocked
these
How
days.
many have you?
I unlocked the bow, the sword that they give you, the shield, and I unlocked the spear, but I didn't get to use it yet.
Oh, okay.
And you don't have any of the you don't have any of the
No.
The
upgrades for those, like
aspects.
the aspects.
I think. Do you have to beat the
Yeah,
game
no.
to unlock the aspects? I can't remember.
I don't
No.
think so. I don't think you need
You
to
don't
beat
have
it.
to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I beat it with like the Zeus shield the first time,
Yeah.
which like had the shield throw instead of the shield bash, which or no, maybe that's not what it is. I forget, but
No,
Yeah.
because the special by default is the throw.
Okay. I know
Yeah,
what you're talking
yeah.
about, though, Evan.
I'm forgetting. I didn't try the shield for this for this episode.
Casper, I don't know if you know, but like later on, there's like a gun. Like there's like a mini gun.
Yeah.
That one, I
What if
will
Greek
say, I
god
think
has
that's
gun?
my least favorite. And I think it's
Same.
just because the special for that is like shooting, like lobbing a grenade, right? And
Okay.
that has to be like to play it to use that on the Switch. It's like kind of stupid. I kind of hate it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it'd probably feel better on keyboard and mouse. But it just feels awkward
just
to
think
do
that-
it, like to aim on the Switch.
Yeah.
In general.
do you have to do you so the Switch? I don't think you can't aim with the right stick. It's like all aim with the left stick and move with the left stick, right? Like I was looking at the controls trying to see if I could remap it so that all the important stuff was on the triggers and I could like kind of twin stick shooter
I
it,
can't-
but it didn't seem like I could.
I'm trying to think. Like I think I think you are correct, Evan, where like whenever I use the bow, like the bow is probably my favorite weapon, and I never have any issues aiming with the bow because I think it just auto locks on like, the nearest enemy.
Yeah, Switch
it
has
does.
auto aim.
I played on PC, but I used a controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like a twin stick shooter for the bow.
Yeah.
Unless when it auto, like, because it does kind of like guide it towards the nearest enemy.
And then, but yeah, with the lob game, like the Dionysus, whatever his name is, the his call or not his you shoot the crystals out. What is it called?
Oh, cast.
He's cast, right?
Yeah, he lobs
He's
the grenade.
lobbing the grenade,
yeah.
and that's like I avoid that one like the plague. It just feels so stupid on the Switch. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the bow. What do you think, Aiden?
I like the bow. Let's see. I beat the game for the first time on Thursday. I
Oh.
forgot to beat it in early access.
Okay.
So I went back to it. Beat it with the sword.
Oh.
My
The
favorite
sword, you
weapon is
say?
whatever gives you the bonus darkness.
Okay.
So you
Right,
can upgrade.
yeah. When you're early on, that's like the most important thing is to use that. Now I can be picky because I'm rolling in darkness.
Yeah. I like the shield though. I like holding
Shield's
it down and flying across the entire map every time you
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
I like the fists. The
Fists are
fists are
cool,
really
yeah.
cool. Like those are the last thing to get added before 1.0, or maybe they even came out in 1.0. But one of the aspects that I just unlocked like today, the uppercut will pull
gravitation,
enemies
yeah.
towards you. Oh my god, it's so sick, dude. It's like I just feel like so cool, bro. Like, get over here, like scorpion ass, like pulling dudes over and just
Dude,
like, I
it's
love
sick.
it.
I think that's something that's so cool is like, okay, so there's these, there's like a handful of weapons, but then within that, there's like, oh, you can tailor, oh, I want to use this weapon, but here are some different ways to. There's like 4 for each weapon,
Yeah.
right?
4 aspects that kind of change up
Yeah.
something fundamental about each weapon.
Crazy, man. That's so cool.
Yeah. I think it's a good system for to make more out of less, you know. Instead of because like imagine if there were 4 times as many weapons like straight up that all had like severely different play styles, like
Yeah, like
I think
Call
that
of
would be
Duty
like
guns.
overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah,
Here you
right.
have
Like, it would
assault
be
rifle number 1, assault rifle number 2.
I think it would be like super overwhelming. So I think they did the right thing by just being like, here's the weapon types and here's a little bit of variation on each, and that's all you get. Because most of the variation you need, it comes from the rest of the game. Like you don't need a lot of variation in your setup because the game is so varied.
Yeah.
It's a good game. Hey, did you guys know I think this game's pretty
I think it's pretty good too, Evan. I agree.
So I guess I wanted to talk about this because I think in the unique position of having played it on both Switch and PC. And what Cody had said about shooting the arrows on the Switch being okay and shooting the gun kind of sucking. Like, I gotta say, I think it's way better mouse and keyboard. I think this game, I feel much, much, much more in control of my positioning and my damage and all that if I'm using a mouse and a keyboard, because you just put the mouse on the guy you want dead, and then you move yourself willy-nilly, and no matter what, you're shooting at that guy. Right? Like, it's pretty straightforward, whereas on the Switch, I spent a lot of time, like, dashing away and then having to flick the stick to reface the direction I want to be facing and then, like, start shooting again or whatever. So, I don't know. Cody, what do you are the guy who primarily played it on the Switch, so what did you think?
When I first got the game, I got it on PC, but then I switched over to the Switch, and that's where I like pretty much only play it on the Switch. And I do know exactly what you're talking about, Evan, where you're like, oh, I have to readjust my character on the map to aim better. Yeah. So, but I haven't had any problem. I mean, the game runs like super well. Yeah, it's just
surprising.
tiny different ways you have to play the game, but I don't think those get in the way of just like the portability. Just having like I'm in bed playing it until for like 4 hours is just like super sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Casper, you played it with a
On
controller
PC.
on PC.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's pretty similar
liked
to
it.
playing it on the Switch, kind of like choosing to do it with a controller. Why
Yeah.
was there any particular reason you thought you wanted to do it with a controller over like a mouse and keyboard?
Usually I play beat 'em ups or hack and slashes with a controller.
Yeah.
And
So
I
it's
just
more just
figured-
like,
Yeah, I just figured it'd be the same, and I thought it was fine. It controlled good.
yeah. Yeah, the aim assist I think really helps. Like, I don't know, I assume it's on the
Yeah.
PC if you use the controller, but on the Switch, like, my God, I tried turning it off, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Too hot for me. I was all punching to the left of guys, punching to their right like I'm doing the goddamn Macarena. Like, it just doesn't work. Aiden, do you play it with a controller or with a mouse and
Yes.
keyboard?
I mean, it sounds like I should go back and try it with a mouse and
I
keyboard.
know, that's what I'm
but
thinking,
I've
too.
I'm the
only
only
ever
one who
played
plays it with a mouse and
controller.
keyboard. It's so much better, guys.
See, the
I don't know
Hades speedrunner said that you could do it either way, and both are fine. I mean, I think it depends on the weapon too. Like, if you're using the bow, maybe it's more fun to have to actually aim versus like you're running all across the map and you're dashing
Yeah.
everywhere, and then you hold X and you just laser over to the guy.
yeah.
A perfect aim, and you're like following him around when he moves.
Yeah, I mean it's way easier to like strafe and do those other kind of more complicated movements with the mouse and keyboard. But I don't know. I mean it's doable. Like I played for this episode. I played on my Switch and it's serviceable. But you guys got to try it on the PC with the. I mean I think if this game is a power fantasy about just beating the shit out of creeps, like you feel like big pimpin' when you play with a mouse and keyboard because you don't miss, bro. Like you're just flying around the map killing everybody. It's awesome. So
With cross
That's
save,
what's
I
up.
can carry
you can
my
flip
whole
it
thing.
now.
Yeah.
Does
which
it
is
have
what I
cross
did
save?
to play it on Switch.
does.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty
that's really
tight.
cool.
Yeah. I was really psyched because I was like, I wanted to play it on Switch so I could like sit on my couch and hang out with my fiance instead of like being locked to my computer
In the
like I am
gamer
for most of
cave.
the games we play. Yeah. In here, in this dirty room with my little baby. So I'd rather not. I was like, yeah, I would rather play a game where I can hang out with my fiance. And it just, I don't know. Yeah, it's just different, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It hit different. It hit different on the Switch, but yeah, the cross saves. Yeah, I'm a little tired. I'm losing my train of thought, guys. Take it away. Someone say something. I'm losing my train of thought really quick.
Well, we probably covered like most of the aspects of the gameplay. You know, we talked about the boons and the different weapons and
The pacing of the upgrades.
yeah. Do we want to talk about like you know, a big part of this game is like the world, right? The which kind of ties into the graphics and the story as well. But what do you guys think of like maybe the level design? Especially coming from a standpoint of like, oh, what was it like in early access versus what it looks like now?
Oh my god, it looks better now.
Yeah.
Looks way better.
Does it?
Yeah,
Well,
Why
it
would
was
it look
clearly-
like an old one?
there was some very obvious placeholder stuff. Like Nyx was basically just a void in like a hoodie.
Yeah. And so was Karen. They looked exactly the same.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
Or
I-
Charon or whatever.
Yeah.
Karen.
Yeah, I thought that it was kind of like I didn't notice for Nyx specifically that it was placeholder because she's supposed to be like the night. She's the
Yeah.
darkness. So I was like, oh, okay, like a void wearing a hoodie. Like, all right, whatever. And then she's like, she's
made
all
her way-
waifu now. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
like, she's a real character in
Night
1.0.
Yeah, I think and then just the levels and stuff, like the assets just look better. I think they've been iterated upon. Like stuff sticks out better
Yeah.
than I think it used to. Like it's more clear, like what is a trap, what isn't. All that stuff's just been improved upon. I think over the how long was it in early access? Like 2 years.
Yeah, it
Year
was,
and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little bit less because it was a year where it was just on Epic, and then it was 9 months where it was on Steam.
Right.
Okay.
So I think I picked it up right when it hit Steam for
Because
early
it was
access.
the wiki says it was December
Okay.
for
Yeah,
Steam,
sounds
which
right
sounds
then.
about right. December 2019.
Yeah, because you know, like obviously the big part of it is since it's a roguelike, you're gonna be spending like a lot of time in, you know, these 4 different worlds.
Yeah.
So, you know, I will say that I guess after a while it feels like okay, I've been here before. But I think that the gameplay and the story aspects kind of pull you along so you don't feel like, oh, I'm just like replaying the same area over and over again. And I think the enemy
Yeah.
variety as well. They kind of keep it interesting.
I think they've done a good job in 1.0, at least like from my perspective, of improving the variety within each world. Like, there's more like mini boss variation now, and I've seen new enemies and stuff that I had never seen before. So I don't know. I think they can still surprise the player,
Right.
and I do wonder. And I have no way to know this personally, but like, do they drip feed you like new enemies as you play, or is it just because I'm coming back to it at 1.0 that I'm just suddenly introduced to all these new enemies I hadn't seen before?
I think
it's random, so like you might just not
So
get
it's
the
not
enemies.
drip feeding; it's just random.
I think
yeah.
it's-
I
Which
think
is
so.
basically drip feeding. I mean, yeah, like you
Yeah.
get there eventually
I
if
think,
you choose the
though,
right door.
if you like maybe not like there's like a totally new type of enemy, but there's new enemy, like they have new moves and they kind of keep it fresh that way. Or like the bosses, after I faced the Bone Hydra 15 times in a row, at some point he has like more abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that was new in 1.0. They like changed up the Bone Hydra.
Yeah,
to have,
Bone
like,
Hydra used to
two
be
different,
way harder.
way harder,
Okay.
and did both of the attack. Like, I've seen it have like a head slam ability and a arrow ability, and it used to do both of those things, and now it
Yeah,
only
it
does
used to
one or
turn
the other.
into a bullet hell
Yeah, it
three
was really
phase
fucking
like
hard.
awful fight.
Oh,
No, it
it
still
was
shoots
no, dude.
arrows.
It was 4 phases. It used to be you had to fight the.
That's true because you
you'd-
fight it and then there's three
Yeah,
times.
you had to
for
fight
it.
the babies 3 separate times instead of
two
two
separate
two
times,
times.
to break it up.
Oh my god,
Oh.
it was brutally hard. I think they also, speaking of like just making it easier, I think they made the Minotaur and Theseus easier.
They definitely did. Well,
Like-
I mean, I saw some early gameplay like from, and it just looks totally easier as far as like, oh, he doesn't throw his spear like nearly as much, and that's like the
Yeah.
thing that kills most. It like ends your run.
Yeah.
It's just his spear all
Yeah.
the time.
And it used to be if you killed the Minotaur, he instantly went like super aggro. Like Theseus would go to like summoning the help from the gods, and then you'd have to fight him with a full health bar.
Right. So now it's like
Like,
halfway or
and-
something. Or
Yeah, it's any time he gets down to halfway, he activates that mode, which makes sense to me. Like it's a little more reasonable. He's a little bit less of like an extremely terrifying threat now.
yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about the art. We're getting off the art. Sorry.
I mean, that kind of dealt with like the levels and the bosses designs and stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah.
Art is just
Who's your-
beautiful, by the way.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Gen Z
Yeah.
is like, she makes the most goddamn
Yeah.
gorgeous shit. I mean,
Everyone's so hot, dude.
I know everyone's so sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
I
sense.
want
That's
Ares to
also
bench press me.
thematic ancient Greece,
That's
where they're
true.
all just like for thousands of years, they're just getting it on.
Yeah.
The various mortals.
Yeah.
I liked how Zagreus, whenever he walked, he had like little lava footsteps behind him. It was kind of
It's
cool.
like a lot of
And
little
Hades
stuff.
has that too. Hades has it. He inherited it. There's Zagreus.
It's-
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah, there's a couple things like that. Like, I didn't realize until I was playing this time that the boiling blood debuff that you get from Hades when he hits you with his, like, he'll like throw a skull at you, hit you. That's literally the cast, because the cast is the same thing. It causes you to take additional damage. So he's casting you.
right.
It sucks. I hate that.
Yeah.
I only want to be the only one doing that. God damn
That's
it.
how my run ended like yesterday. Because he did like
Yeah.
80 damage to me. And I'm like, well, that's it. Yeah, I think like this game, if the most, I don't know, the highest praise I can give this game is just that it's like super polished. Like everything
Yeah.
about it, like
Yeah.
you can't find really any flaws. Like as far as the art and the level design, and the game runs, super well. It's really optimized all the way around.
Yeah, and I think that it owes that to like a very involved and pretty long early access period.
Right, yep.
Like
Yeah.
they, with their patch notes, they used to put out like a little symbol next to the ones, like the bullet points that were community ideas, and they really listened to their community, and they were like, this is too hard, or this is too easy, or this doesn't work right, and they just made those corrections. And I think, it was basically designed by committee
That's
in that
awesome.
way,
That's
and
really
I think
cool.
it paid off for them big time.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. You guys want to talk about the music?
Let's talk about the music.
Let's talk about the music. The music slaps, dude.
Music's
The
pretty
music makes you want to fight. Makes you want to go to a bar and just start fighting.
Yeah.
It's almost Doom music. It's not
Yeah.
quite Doom music.
Yeah.
It's like Doom if you played it on like a lyre or something,
Yeah.
you know, like a lute.
Like, I'm trying to think of. So it'll be like
What was
really.
the name?
What's up, Casper?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, keep going.
No, I was gonna say it's just you know, it's like really awesome, like intense music. But then you know, something sticks out obviously when you go to Sharon's shop or whatever, and it's like,
Karen.
okay, I got a moment to breathe. You know, this kind of music is very like
Yeah.
mysterious. You know,
Yeah.
but then like you get right back to it, like you know, fighting the bone. Like the boss music is really cool. That's like something that sticks out. Like fighting
Yeah,
Hades.
The boss
is-
music's intense.
Yeah.
Oh my
When
god,
you-
yeah, that's some good ass music.
I don't even know if I want to
I
spoil
just
It's
it.
found
very
it, but-
rock influence, which
Yeah.
is very like Darren Korb. Like all of his stuff is like, what if we did rock on like maybe not a regular rock instrument?
Right.
Like Transistor is kind of like that, I think, with more of like a synthetic sound, but it still feels like very rock. And then Bastion and this are both like extremely like acoustic guitar heavy. And
Yeah.
he's just like railing that acoustic guitar, man. Like just shredding it to bits.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And there's an official upload of the soundtrack
Is it on Spotify?
Supergiant's YouTube.
Oh.
I don't know if it's on Spotify. It is on YouTube.
Nice.
What's the name of the person who did the music?
Darren Korb.
It's a sick
Darren
name
Korb.
too.
Okay.
The guy's
Yeah,
just
it's crazy
winning.
cool
Yeah.
name. The dude has like huge sideburns too, which I love. Like I love any dude with big sideburns. It's my kind of people. Yeah, he's done all the music for them, and I don't know what else he's done before. But he's like the Supergiant music guy.
Those are big sideburns.
Right.
And he does some of the voice acting too. I think he's Zag. I think he's Zagreus' voice actor. And then they've got this other guy whose name currently escapes me, who does pretty much everybody else. Like he's like their employee that is a voice actor.
Yeah.
He's the one out of
So-
15 who does all the voices.
That's-
he does everything.
That's
dude.
it. To me, that's a good segue to like, man, does the dialogue ever end? Because I've played it so many times. I've talked, you know, I listen to everything, right? And it like never repeats. Am I going insane? Like how much fucking dialogue is in this game?
It's the Twilight Zone, the worst
It's
episode of
crazy.
the Twilight Zone.
Like the story stuff, you know, you would expect to, oh, there's a lot of that, but there's a lot of that. And then
Yeah, you would kind of think that you would run out.
yeah,
if
and
you
like
keep
every
doing all
time I
these
talk
runs.
to, like maybe if I'm trying to think, like maybe I've maxed out like all the dialogue for one of the gods, like maybe Poseidon or something like that. But like, there's so much fucking dialogue in this goddamn game.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's funny that you like noticed that because I personally like skip all the dialogue. Like I'm
interesting.
only in it for the gameplay.
Okay.
Like I do not give a shit. But it's not that to say that it's because it's a boring story. It's because the gameplay is just I'm like in a rush to get back into it. Like I don't want to wait around.
Yeah.
What do you think of the story, Casper?
So far it's all right. It seems like there's some kind of like mystery element in it. Like I don't know too
Right.
much
and
about it
maybe
yet.
I don't even want to spoil it, but do you know why you're trying to get out of Hades? Like, do you know why you're trying
Because his mom
Okay.
left
Okay.
or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wants to find
to?
her.
Yeah. So that kind of, you know, that mystery gets unraveled as you go for sure.
Okay.
So hopefully that's
It's the story's kind of interesting, but it's not like anything like. Ooh, I like the gameplay way more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm more focused on.
Yeah, me too.
If
Yeah.
you're into like Greek mythology, it probably speaks to you a lot more. Like I don't know.
Probably.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they make like all kinds of references that I don't understand.
Yeah, like Orpheus and
Yeah.
Eurydice, because they're
Yeah, like
they're
I've
the story
heard of them,
where
but-
yeah, so Eurydice died. Eurydice bit the dust,
Yeah.
and Orpheus is the guy who went into the underworld and convinced Hades to let Eurydice come back to
I
life
see. So that's like
if he could walk out with her behind him, and they couldn't like make eye contact. And right at the very
I love
end, he
the
turned
gods
around.
are all about giving people like weird tasks
Yeah.
like that. Like
And he like
like-
right at the very end, like a hand on the door, turned around and saw her. So she went back to the underworld forever,
Jeez.
and he got stuck there too.
damn.
So that's the whole reason they're
like in a spat right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Eurydice is pissed at him, because she died, was about to not be dead, and then because he's an idiot.
So
she
this is like
died
the
again.
aftermath of Greek myth.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you, why did he turn around? Was Hades like, dummy, turn around right now? And he was like,
I don't remember that part of the story. That's probably one of the things that's like up to interpretation, depending on who said it.
From what I heard, it was something like she screamed in like terror or something. It was like something just to grab his attention, you know?
Yeah, like somebody ooga booga right in front of her, and she got scared.
spooked.
Well, so that's like one of those things in this game where you're kind of just like, Zag has been there for a very long time, right? That's evident. But you're still like learning about all these different characters. Like, oh, he's getting really close to Achilles, and like Achilles is the one who's been training him to fight underneath, like without Hades knowing, that sort of thing. Or like like, man, you guys know Than? I forgot his full name.
Yeah, his brother.
Yeah,
kind
like
of,
his
or
half
whatever.
brother. Dude, because there's like a dating sim element to this game where you're trying to. It's like I really like Meg. I think your connection gets stronger and stronger.
Meg,
with Meg
has like some real step on me energy.
Yeah,
like,
right. So I'm trying to like max out like my connection to all these different characters, because I like talking to them. Like every time I come back into Hades, I always run over and talk to, like I have like a cycle. Like I'll talk to Achilles. I'll see if there's any dialogue with Hades, and then kind of make my rounds. So I
got a story
like all the
question.
story, but
when do we get into Hades' bedroom? Because that's locked for me. Is that like the end of the story? Or is that never unlocked?
Was that the true ending?
yeah, because
There's it's in the
times.
left half of the hall, and on the north part of that, there's just a locked door that says like walks up to you, press it, and he goes like, "Dad's bedroom," and like that's all he says.
There's
Can't get in there.
like I know I have the like where all the shades like do the paperwork or whatever. I have that room open.
Yeah, I have that room too.
So it's probably one of those things where it's like, yeah, probably
You get
is-
enough diamonds.
Yeah, enough diamonds, or like that option becomes available
So,
for the contractor or something.
Have any of us achieved the true ending that
I
supposedly
think,
exists?
I think I'm at 7 wins. So I think you get
thought it
10.
was
I'm at
10.
9. I think I just need to win one more. Yeah, I was trying to win one today and I died twice.
Hate to see
Trying
it.
to, I only had time to get 2 more in before this show, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get to 10. Didn't do it.
Yeah, sounds like I'm gonna try to do that on keyboard and mouse tonight. Sounds like that's
Yeah,
my
ways.
plan.
it's the move. It's definitely the move.
Yeah.
I feel like we've covered most of our usual points.
I think so too.
This can be a shorter section.
It's
I mean,
about an
we
hour,
really
but-
like this game. The thing is that I want to say about this game is I think as a group we're having trouble coming up with good criticisms because we all fucking love it, right?
Here's a
Yeah.
criticism. I think anytime you put armor on an enemy, it makes them 2 bullet spongy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah.
I do.
think
I find
anytime
armor super,
you put
super
armor
annoying.
on something, it's just you're hitting something for too long and it needs to die sooner.
Yeah. That's a fair criticism.
Yeah.
I like some of the enemies. It's like I kind of roll my eyes when I get into a room with them. Like, oh, I hate going up against these guys.
Yeah.
But it's never like, okay, I got into this room. I hate these people. I'm just gonna turn off the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So-
It's just another challenge.
Because
you
they're
have to
well
overcome.
designed. It's like, oh man, these guys are tough because they have this mechanic that they do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The poison mechanic in the last
Oh,
level is some
that's
bullshit,
true.
though. I hate that.
Poison used to
that
mess
one
me up
pisses
all
me
the time. Yeah.
The lava annoys me a lot. I keep
Lava's
walking
annoying
into
too.
it.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
that looks warm. I'm a bit chilly in the toes.
Oh, you've got
I would
fire
think that
feet. You
Hades
should be
would
able
be
to walk
immune.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I think another reason why we aren't saying like all there is to say about Hades is that it's a game that you guys, anyone listening, should experience, and it's just like, we don't really want to talk about all of the story, because maybe that to me that was a big part of it. I'm sure it is for other people as well. It's like, you want to experience all that. And then another reason why we probably haven't like talked about a lot of stuff is just that like it's just so random, right? Because it's roguelike elements. So every
Yeah.
playthrough, like
Yeah.
your attachment with the game is like these playthroughs that stand out to you, because you had like a really sick combination of boons or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get that point across. Is like, I don't know.
I think that's like a super remarkable thing about the game is that I have like a personal history, like
Yeah.
a hall of fame in my head of some of my wins. Like I have beaten like Binding of Isaac, right? But like I don't remember how it went down. But in Hades, I remember how it went down. You know, like I can remember some of the combos I was able to get with boons and like what weapons I was using.
Yeah.
So it's a very like it makes you feel like a Greek hero.
It really makes you feel like you're escaping the underworld.
Put that on the box. Pretty good, Evan.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna take a break. Thanks for listening to the first half of the show. We're gonna be back with Casper's super duper awesome hour of pain
Oh, is that
in just a minute. And we're back. We're gonna talk about video games some more. It's Casper's Power Hour. We realized that the first section ran pretty long, so we'll try to. If you guys don't expect to stick around for too much longer, okay? So we're just gonna talk a little bit, and then we'll send you home, and get home safe. I'll talk to you later. Okay, let's go. So we're talking about what our games we're looking forward to this year are, because second podcast of 2021. We got to talk about like what's good with 2021, what's going to be good this year. So I open the floor. Why don't we throw it to our guest first this time? Aiden,
Okay.
what are you hyped about for 2021?
So I'm hyped for GPU stock to come back into control. I personally am still rocking my GTX 970 from 2014, I think.
I had one of those.
That's what I had
Yeah,
as well.
so you got all these people complaining about Cyberpunk with their like 2080 Ti's, and they're like, "Oh man, it sucks." It's like I'm on a 970, and I'm ready for an upgrade. So like I personally really enjoyed Cyberpunk for the most part. Really looking forward to being able to get some actually modern hardware to kind of see Cyberpunk how it's meant to be seen. There's some other stuff like Red Dead that I've been playing recently. Like I'm on booty cheeks tier graphics to get as close to 60 FPS as I can get at all times, and it still like drops down, and you look at somebody's jacket too long and it's like, wow, that texture is real bad.
What
So I
GPU
don't-
are you looking for?
I was gonna get a 3080. I would be fine
all
with
the
a
way to the top,
3070.
baby.
Yeah, it's like I have this 7-year-old GPU, so if I could get a GPU that will last me 7 years, but I'm also not playing games at like very very low graphics when I'm about to replace it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so my
Nice.
like my games that I'm looking forward to in 2021 are games that I bought or have already played in 2020 and was like, wow, this would be really great if it ran period end of sentence.
Yeah.
Because I got this nice high refresh rate monitor for all my like paladins or Valorant, like all the stuff that's kind of cartoony and runs really well. So even on my hardware it can get up to 144 165 hertz.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really
But
great
time for something new.
yeah
Yeah, I like speaking of just wanting to play stuff that I already have or is already exists. Like I'm looking forward to just shit coming to the PS5 as like the ultimate or like the enhanced edition of like XYZ. Like I'm pretty hyped for Control because I haven't played Control. Like so, it's gonna be tight, dude. It's a year of like very incremental improvements in everything. So we'll just go play old games on new hardware. We'll get new graphics cards. You're gonna have the biggest jump of anybody.
Yeah, I have to get a new power supply for it.
Nice.
Yeah. I like built the whole new rig right before Cyberpunk came out. I was lucky enough to get PS5 and also I have a 3070.
Still don't believe it to this
Crazy,
day
dude.
you got a 3070.
I could have bought another one too, but I didn't I chose not to. But yeah, I think same for me, Evan, where I'm just looking forward to, my PS5 is holding me hostage and I have to play something on it. So, like the Oh, actually, something that I'm looking forward to. I don't know if I'm gonna play it on PC or my PS5, but when the Mass Effect Legendary Edition comes out, because I haven't played them.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone talks about them. That's probably like the one of the biggest holes in my backlog. So I feel like this is a good time to when that comes out and everything's like super enhanced and like this is the definitive way to play those games. I don't know which console or like which platform I'll be getting that on, but that's something I'm looking forward to.
Who's making that? It's not BioWare themselves, right? It's probably a third party.
Yeah, it's probably like a port studio. I haven't looked into it because BioWare is busy.
Dragon
Anthem.
Age. No, they're not busy with Anthem. I assure
They
you.
got like a night crew, like 4 people working on Anthem, just trying to keep the lights on. But yeah, also they're working. They announced I forgot if it was at E3 or was it the Game Awards where they're like, we're making another Mass Effect, but it was just like it's not even there's no title or anything. It's just like
Yeah, I think
Liara is on the screen.
yeah. So yeah, that's something I look forward to. And then like games like Deathloop from Arcane. Been looking forward to that as well, just because it seems like super trippy and
Yeah.
big fan of Dishonored.
Is Arcane doing anything else this year? Like, I feel like I'm forgetting, and they were doing something else too. Or like, did they announce something at the Game Awards?
I think Arcane has 2 studios, so it wouldn't surprise me if they were had something else on the pipeline.
Yeah.
And not to interrupt, I looked it up. It is actually BioWare proper who's doing Mass Effect, and it's also all 3 of them.
Yeah,
I thought it was just the first one.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, it's all
we
3.
put new textures on the first one, and you'll have to pay for more.
right. Because so I think that's it's so BioWare proper. That makes me want to play it even more. I'll probably get that on PC. That's what I'm thinking. Just to max everything out. And then another one I'm looking forward to is the new Ratchet and Clank. I assume that'll be this year. It seems like it's pretty much ready because I'm trying to think about.
Looked like a very polished trailer they showed.
That's
but
true.
You never know.
In theory,
Yeah.
it's been in development for because I think Insomniac has 2 teams. So one's like doing Spider-Man shit, and then the team that did the Ratchet and Clank remake. So in theory, they've been working on it for a while.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think about PlayStation's lineup for this year, and they say like the next Horizon's gonna come out. They also say like God of War, which I don't think that game's gonna be.
That would be really surprised, but we don't know. But
Yeah.
like, I'd be really surprised if it was able to be
I
finished.
don't think this year needs it
Yeah.
either. So the fact that they even put a date on it is just kind of like, okay, in 3 months we're gonna hear it's delayed. Like, why even put a date on it? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Halo
Something was
Infinite
supposed to come out,
strategy.
yeah, right. Just
Yeah.
egg on your face when you delay
is-
it a year.
That's never coming out. Ever. That game's losing directors like left and
It's-
right,
it's-
right? Like, I know it's kind of old news at this point,
Which
but
game?
The new Halo.
Halo Infinite, like
Oh.
the directors
That's the
just keep-
launch title for the
Skip it.
Series X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can't keep a director.
I don't even
yeah.
play. I don't even play Halo, but I just want to see the. What was the name of the great alien guy? Greg.
Craig the Alien, dude.
Yeah.
Craig's a classic. Those are kind of, just like whatever PlayStation's doing, and then, like Far Cry 6, I'm looking forward to, because I played 5, it was pretty good, but it's more of the same, like, Ubisoft stuff. It's nothing.
Yeah. More Far Cry
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's pretty much it as far as games go. What about you, Casper?
There's a few games I'm looking forward to, like Bravely Default 2. I like the first one a lot. Didn't really care for Bravely Second, which is the sequel to the first one. I'm not actually sure what they're doing with Bravely Default 2. I don't know if that's like a sequel or like they're doing like Final Fantasy, where it's just different Bravely Default worlds or something.
Yeah, but like similar mechanics. Isn't the thing with Bravely Default like there's like a mechanic where you like don't do anything?
Yeah, you
and
can
you like build up to
You
it's like
default.
defaulting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you either default or you brave and you like do a whole bunch at once.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you can lose
Seems like a
turns.
pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Nice.
Supposedly Psychonauts 2 is gonna come out this year.
my ass.
You think so? That's been
I'm
freaking working on.
I'm
for
pretty
a
sure they
long time.
announced a release date for this year. I don't know if it
Okay.
actually is gonna come out. Oh, someone look that up for me.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think about like what. I mean, the last game that I remember them. When was like that? What did they work on?
Headlander?
Yeah, was Headlander the
Did they
last
do
game
that?
they did?
What for? Sorry, for Double Fine.
Yeah.
Because
I think
when
that
was
was
Broken
was
Age?
definitely
It was
very
like
recent.
a long time ago for Broken Age, right?
Yeah.
But
Their most recent game was Rad,
Oh.
actually, which I didn't play.
I have that
I
on
didn't play that
Switch.
one either.
I want to play that at some point. I played that at
Psy-
PAX.
Speaking of Double Fine, like I think it was Full Throttle. Maybe it was a different game. One of their like classic point and click type adventure games. The dude who I'm totally spacing on this now, but like some fucking director who's directed like cool movies, like just made like a fan script for like a screenplay
Oh, for Brutal Legend?
for Full
Oh,
Throttle, just for fun. Like, and it was like, I love this game so, and I'm like a good at movies, so I
What,
made
like
this
Rob
for free.
Zombie or something,
I, just
or
remember,
what?
I saw yeah, the acclaimed director Rob Zombie.
I'm looking it up. Psychonauts 2 is supposed to come out this year, but there's no like formal release date.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it probably isn't.
I mean,
I don't know.
Microsoft needs anything.
Something.
They need
Yeah.
like literally anything.
If the viewers want our thoughts on the Psychonauts series, though, they can go back to
True.
episode
Nice plug.
whatever.
Episode 4, 5.
Yeah, episode 4.
It was Duncan Jones.
Okay.
Did so the guy that did
Yeah.
Moon and fucking Source Code,
Moon's sick.
and he's also David Bowie's son.
Oh,
That's
That
a
is
fun
pretty
fact
sick.
about Duncan Jones.
Moon is pretty cool.
But yeah, Moon is a good movie. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
We should watch
We
that on the
should.
movie
Another
podcast.
plug.
I'm hoping
yeah.
that I'm hoping something Elden Ring related happens.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's
Like,
insane.
whether
Oh
it's-
When
yeah,
did they?
I'd take.
Hasn't it been
anything.
like,
Like a
a year and
trailer.
a half? Was it a?
What?
When did they first like
It's
announce
been-
it?
like two years ago? Like
Yeah.
not like 2 years and change.
We gotta stop doing that just as a society. Like, yo, keep it in your pants until like a year. Come on.
Supposedly,
Yeah.
it's really close to finishing development. Like, they
Yeah.
have everything that they
Miyazaki
need.
has said, like, or someone from FromSoft has like said in an interview, like, yeah, we're like
How
polishing
come they
it.
haven't
Yeah.
shown anything?
You probably want to make
'Cause
sure
they
it's
hate
done.
us.
You know?
I
They
guess.
saw Cyberpunk, like they announced their game, and then they saw Cyberpunk announce Cyberpunk, and then Cyberpunk happened, and they're like, "Well,
Dude.
we're not doing that."
I said
I'd
it
rather-
once.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. Remember when Fallout 4? It was announced at E3, and then it came out like 3
And it
months
came
later.
out like a week
Yeah,
later.
and like there was
yeah.
rumblings like, oh, it's gonna take place in Boston, like before the game was officially revealed. But like, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, we need to start
Yeah.
doing that more because that was sick. Even if you didn't like Fallout
I like
4,
that.
that was still really cool that they did that.
I feel
Yeah.
like announcements should be within the same year
Please,
that it comes out.
within 2
Yeah.
at least. But you gotta stop this. Like, oh, we announced Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. So that'll be like in 10 years, Elder Scrolls 6. It's like, come on.
We're gonna be on Medicare when those come out.
It's crazy.
Oh, man.
Um,
Probably one of the final things I'm hoping for this year is that some kind of better VR comes out.
yeah.
You know, like maybe better hand tracking, so you don't even need a controller,
Yeah.
or like, you know, like gloves.
I mean,
or
that is a
something.
thing, right? Isn't there like an Oculus or something that has like
Yeah.
cameras in the headset so you can like just use your hands?
But it's not
And
really
Mark
used though.
Zuckerberg can watch
Yeah.
while you do
Yeah.
it.
God, what's
That's the other thing. I kind of hate Oculus now that it's owned by Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's the
yeah.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't like the most popular VR like platform, isn't it PSVR? Like, I'm pretty sure it
I
is.
think so.
Yeah.
It's like-
It's
Yeah.
like
More.
the most bought.
Yes, and
Yeah.
you know, the quality of PSVR, like it's pretty cool what it does, and there's a lot of games that are, you know, pretty cool for it. But the tech isn't, you know, comparable to Oculus or whatever. So I'm with you, Casper, where if they do like a PSVR 2,
Yeah.
I think that could be really cool. Like, just dude, the
What?
wires are just so terrible. I don't know if anyone else has PSVR.
Yeah.
It's such a hassle to set up. It's like a fucking chore. I have to clear like, you know, the wires. Just
I also
so
heard the
long.
wires are super small too.
There's
So you would try to move your head around and it would like yank your PS4 off the shelf.
yeah, there's
Oh,
just
no.
cut. You know, get a wireless version and then upgrade the like I guess the resolution inside the headset itself, and I think that could be
Yeah. I also did some kind of locomotion for VR because I can't walk with the analog sticks. Like I just get
Like
motion
makes
sick.
you nauseous.
Yeah.
that's
The teleporting is like okay, like when you like point and just
yeah.
and like warp, but it's like it kind of works, but it does seem like a band-aid on a bullet wound. Like
Yeah.
they're like, this is the only way we can move you without making you
That's
sick.
that's something
So-
that they need to figure out for sure.
Some of my favorite VR games is when it's just like a room, right? You don't
Yeah.
have to travel outside the room. It's like, okay, I have enough space for this. I can just walk around inside of it.
Right.
So they
I
use like,
really like Super Hot VR.
Super
sorry.
hot sick.
Like, Super
Yeah.
Hot VR was
Yeah.
so sick, and that's one where you
Or
don't have to
Beat
move.
Saber.
I haven't played Beat Saber.
Evan, you
Beat
would
Saber's
love
great.
Beat Saber is so
Yeah.
fucking sick.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
yeah. I've seen people play it, and there was like I remember at PAX like 2 years ago. Even the game had been out forever, but there was a booth for it,
And people were just lined
And-
up.
and people were just lined up, and I was like, I'm not gonna wait an hour to play a game that already has been out for like
Yeah.
a
That's
year
the
and a
thing
half.
Also,
about
like
that.
strangers' eye
Yeah, like
juice and
face gunk.
skin. Yeah.
This is pre-COVID times,
Yeah.
but
Cody, have you played in the multiplayer Beat Saber yet?
I didn't even know there was multiplayer.
Yeah, there was an update for multiplayer, so there was like 5 other people all competing at the same time, and you can see them
It's
off
a
in the
battle
distance.
royale.
fucking
Yeah,
sick.
pretty much. It's really cool. Whoever gets the most points wins. It's kind of like Guitar Hero versus.
Yeah. Dude,
You
Beat
know, you
Saber
ever
is
play that?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's a good workout too. If anyone's looking to
Yeah,
you get sweaty, dude.
I have Ring Fit Adventure to make me
I was
sweat.
thinking of getting that. Is that worth picking up?
I remember tweeting about the fact that I like played it on like the hard difficulty because I thought I was like tough shit. And like the gamification of it kind of distracts you from like your body's signals.
So when you're done, you're just like
So anyway, I play one level on hard and I survive. I'm like, feeling it. And the game's like, we think you should be done now. And I was like, fuck you, game. Like, I know my body. And then I like started the next level, and halfway through the next level, I started to get like lightheaded and like pale. And I just like, cause I just pushed myself way too hard. And I remember telling Liz, like, I have to stop. And she was like, don't be a baby. Like, come on. And I was like, no, I'm stopping. And I turned and looked at her, and like the face she made when she actually saw my face was like true terror. And like, but also she like kind of smiled because she didn't want to freak me out. It was like this like very brief, like eyes wide, like I just saw a goddamn monster, and then like remembering that the monster is her betrothed, so she needs to like
yeah.
like smile and like be normal. And yeah, I like sat next to the toy. I didn't throw up, but I came really close.
Dude, did you? I remember from the trailer, dude. Remember when they announced Ring Fit Adventure, but they didn't show any gameplay, so it's just like a bunch of fuckers
Yeah.
just like doing all sorts of wacky
Oh,
shit.
like with the ring when they're just
Yeah, or
dancing
like
with the
what's
ring.
that move where you're like you're
Yeah.
on your back and you're swinging your legs? Have you had to do that?
I haven't had to do
Okay,
that.
okay.
No.
That's funny. I'm looking forward. That's one of my
Casper's doing-
predictions, or looking forward to Evan doing that on his back. That's what I'm
Yeah, we'll do it as a research stream. I'll play Ring Fit Adventure, and you guys can just watch me sweat so bad. Casper, is there anything else you're looking forward to?
no, I think that covers most of it. Yeah,
Well done, well done. I went and set my notebook down that I wrote down what I was looking forward to, but I'm looking forward to Pokemon Snap. That's like a big one for me.
oh
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm gonna like zen the fuck out, dude. I'm gonna be so relaxed.
Oh, do you think for the Switch, in Pro mode, do you think
Yeah.
if you
I
move
hope
it,
so. I better be able to
Yeah.
treat it like a viewfinder.
Maybe you'll have
That'd
like
be
a
so
like a
sick.
That'd be
Labo
really cool.
virtual reality update or something.
That would be cool
Probably.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty excited for just like more stuff on the PS5. Like I kind of brought up earlier, like playing old games on the PS5. Literally anything that comes out for my PS5, I'd just be psyched to play probably.
Mm.
Like the main one, like I said before, is Control. Like I'm really looking forward to playing Control for the
You'll
first
like Control.
time. Yeah, I've heard many good things. That's really it though. I mean, hope a lot of good anime comes out this year. Praying for a new season of JoJo's. That would be sick. It's not gonna happen, but that would be awesome.
I want to go to the movie theaters
And hopefully,
again.
yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah, that'll be good. Any aspect of life returning to normal is a big looking forward to for me. Like
Yeah.
something that I like don't see myself doing even like shortly after things are like quote unquote normal is like going back to the arcade because arcades are disgusting.
Yeah, if you really
But
think
I
about
do-
like most of the stuff like we just took for granted or did normally, it's like, wow, that was disgusting. Like going to the store and
Just
breathing other
boogers
people's
and,
air,
like,
that's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
Eating at
packs.
a restaurant where somebody's breathing on the food they're making for you.
Yeah, it's like, that's actually kind of gross.
Now I'm like, hold your breath, bitch.
We're gonna be like
don't you open your mouth.
a generation of
Yeah.
germaphobes.
Yeah, where it's like the Great Depression, how people like wouldn't eat real food because they wanted to conserve all of it
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. It's gonna have lasting effects on our perception of reality.
Dude, I'm gonna wear a mask like for. I kind of like wearing masks, to be honest with you.
I feel like they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I remember like when I was in high school and like people like I saw some people kind of be like see that, you know, it was like an Asian style to like Japanese style to do
Right.
that and like kids in my high school doing it and being like, man, you dorky as hell, but kind of cool as hell too.
I do hope that becomes the norm because like in a lot of Asian countries, if they're sick,
Yeah.
they'll wear a mask.
They just have it ready. They were already prepared because they just like, oh, it's like normal. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
everyone's just gonna have them now, and I hope like if anything, like people stop like going to work sick and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's the worst thing.
Yeah,
that
I was
I hope
definitely
changes.
I was always a sick worker.
Yeah, because you just they
for
make
sure.
you
It's
feel
just
like you have
but
to.
that's like the American
Yeah.
thing, kind of. It's like you do your best, like push through
Yeah.
it, like you little baby.
Yeah.
Well, you not an American, you're not a patriot.
Right,
Go
it's
to
like
work.
I could be patient
Sneezy.
zero. Like I'm gonna stay home today.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and with working from home and stuff is pretty much going to be supported around every industry that can support it.
Yeah.
So if you're not feeling well, work from home, bud.
Yeah, the infrastructure's there now, and I'm looking forward to getting a vaccine, or getting vaccinated. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, this is getting like really
Oh, yeah, we're not
sad
talking
and
about
real.
video
Like we're
games
supposed to be
anymore.
talking about what games we're
wanna
excited
go
about, and we're just like,
outside again.
man, I want to hug my parents, bro. But yeah, that's pretty much it for video games. I'm psyched on.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, we talked for so long. I think we can just wrap it
yeah.
up.
It seems like
So,
a
you guys
lot
good?
of stuff like isn't coming out this year, but
I think Casper and I just realized the same
What?
We
thing.
never stamped.
Yeah, I just realized that
Wait, what?
too. We never
For the
stamped
game.
the game.
We
We
never-
usually do stamps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
But
it
we can
now.
stamp now. We can stamp.
we'll
now.
stamp
We can stamp
now.
now.
Why
It's
not?
fine, guys. It's fine. Don't freak out. Nobody freak out. I'm not freaking out. You're freaking out. Okay. So we're gonna stamp. Okay. So Hades was our game. Before we announce our next game, we're stamping Hades. Cody, what are you stamping on the box?
man, everybody is so hot. I want to play this game forever. That's the box.
I feel like our stamps are getting like progressively longer with every episode we do. Like the
used to just be
first,
like,
I think the first episode, our stamps were like one word, and we were like, yeah, it's a punchy like finish. And now we're like, I really like it, and if you would like to read in this essay, I will. Like, Casper, what about you?
Greek beat 'em up. Really
Whoa.
cool.
Yeah, that's not a lie. It's true.
I like the phrase "Greek beat 'em up." Like it just sounds very unrelated to
Like
video
JRPG,
games.
but it's Greek beat 'em up.
Just a bunch of Greek dudes fighting each other.
Yeah, it's like a nude oil wrestling in the Colosseum.
All right, Aiden, can you do a stamp as our guest? Do
My
you think you're
stamp
capable?
is mandatory purchase.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's a good. It is a mandatory
no
purchase.
excuses.
My stamp is ignore the story.
Okay.
That's my
feel
super
like you're
hot
the
take
only
on the
one
game. Is that
Stamping
Yeah.
that on.
All right.
yeah?
I respect it.
I
though.
really might be in the whole world. I just don't. it doesn't do it for me. Or well, it's not that it doesn't do it for me. It's just I would rather play the game than listen to these people talk.
That's fair.
Right. Yeah.
I'm crazy. Okay. So yeah, this has been episode 8 or 9 or whatever. We still are undecided on
We'll
what the
figure it out.
episode number is.
Fix it in post.
Before I announce our next game, I just want to say thanks to Casper, Cody, and our guest Aiden. Thanks, guys, for doing this. Really appreciate having you guys around for another episode, and looking forward to the next episode, which is either 9 or 10. And that will be Night in the Woods, which is one of my favorite games. And I don't believe either of my two compatriots have played it.
No.
Nope, have not.
Yeah. So Night in the Woods is a side-scrolling adventure game,
That's-
narrative driven, like more just like it's like an 80s coming of age movie, but everybody's furry.
That's sick.
and,
Sold.
and it's a video game.
Oh,
It's a
wow,
lot of
everybody
talking
is a
and walking. Yeah, lots of furry stuff on this episode. You never see it coming until you're already in it. You know, I'm buying the fursuit. It's too
It's an
late.
Amazon.
Oh,
Bastion.
similar to Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Is that right?
That doesn't sound right. If that's what Steam just told you, that's not right at all. But yeah, so I'm really excited for that. We're gonna have Liz, my fiance, on as our guest for that episode. So look forward to that. She is gonna tell you guys how terrible I am to be around all the time. So that'll be fun. So thank you, listeners. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, retweet, send it in a bottle into the ocean, and hopefully it makes it to the other side of the ocean where we can start to develop a following in Europe. That would be awesome.
Should we plug a movie podcast?
Yeah, we can plug our movie podcast really quick. So yeah, Cody and I are doing Any Percent Movies next episode, a week-ish after this. So we'll be talking about, I don't remember, but we'll be talking about movies.
Yeah.
If you like movies more than video games, or you like them both, listen to the movie podcast. It's pretty good.
I think it's pretty
it's
good.
about as good as this.
It's definitely not as good as this, but
Yeah, if your bar of excellence, if we cross that, A, you should raise your standards, and B, you'll also like the Any Percent Movies podcast. So yeah. Well, that's it, guys. I think I gotta go take a poop.
all right, I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right, bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.